Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So I wanted to do something a little bit different for me, and this is kind of like a challenge for me. So what I wanted to do was turn this face of makeup into this. What I really want to focus on is just kind of like working with what we have. So I was just out for about 3 hours. It's 5 o'clock. It's 10:45 right now, and I've had this makeup on since about 4:35, so it's been cooking a little bit. I did not apply a lot of foundation purposely because I knew I wanted to do this video, so I don't really know how I'm going to call this video, how I'm going to word it, but it's going to be kind of like how to freshen up expired makeup. Like, I feel like when I say expired makeup, like, I'm not talking about the expiration date of it. I'm just talking about how like you can fix your face without having to reapply it. Because for me, I would only reapply. And like that's very harsh on your skin. We just kind of want to work with what I already have going on. So I already have everything. I have foundation on, concealer, and everything. So we're going to jump right into it. So I have a few products here that we're going to use to freshen up. I'm literally melting, by the way, so this glow on my chest might be a little bit of sweat and a little bit of the Patrick Ta. It says for face, but I just sprayed it all over my décolletage and my shoulders. But this is the Major Glow Highlighting Mist in the shade We Need Her, and I think it's so pretty. Like, that's the glow that we got going on here. So I know for a fact that I need to add some concealer around my mouth. Was wiping my mouth all night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape and I'm just going to lightly put this all around my mouth. The only places I set with powder today were my under eyes and my forehead. I am not oily. I have super dry skin, so honestly I use like the slightest amount of powder because my skin is so dry to begin with. So I'm just taking a foundation brush and we're going to push this into the skin. And then I kind of like drag up the excess on the nose just in case we need to. And you want to start off with a little. You don't want to go in with a lot just because you've already had makeup on. Okay. So before I do anything else, I want to go in and just dust off. Like, I have some like mascara fallout from Mascara. So this is what my skin looks like after putting on the concealer. Okay, so it looks good. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to just take a brush and just flick off all of that fallout. Okay. So then you can go in with concealer anywhere else that you feel like you're going to need it. So I'm going to actually put some on my eyes to prime them. I didn't do this earlier. I just kind of put like the excess foundation on my brush onto my lids. So what I'm going to do is actually carve out my crease a little bit, especially if I'm doing this from like a day to night type of look. I like having like a sharp brow. I really like this brush for buffing out my primer or my concealer on my lid. This is the Anastasia A6 brush, and I think it buffs out pretty nicely, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to set that really quick with some powder. I'm just going to use my Hourglass Veil powder because that's just what I have in front of me. I'm going to use a smaller brush because I already have mascara on my lids, on my lashes, so I don't want too much powder there. I'm just using like the slightest amount. So what I'm going to do now is, because I have some sunglass marks right on my nose, I'm just going to take the slightest bit of concealer and put it right here. I know you guys are probably thinking like, wow, she's literally fucking nuts because I powdered my face earlier, but literally I do this trick kind of a lot and I don't find that my concealer on my skin looks cakey. It's all about how much you use and how much product you first started out with. So if I went in like a few hours ago and baked my complete under eye and like, you know, had a snatched contour nose, I would not do this. But because I had more of a light face makeup on, I could do this. And you just want to push it into the skin. You don't want to like swipe it. You just want to push it into the skin. And I'm even going to put some on the tip of my nose, just because that's where I feel like most of my foundation rubs off. And I just bring the excess around my nose just because we get red there as women, so. Okay, and last little bit of concealer I'm going to use is right underneath here. So the good thing about having like dry skin and not using a lot of powder is that I don't set my entire face. I literally only set where I put concealer, so this was never set with powder. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this. For areas where you need more coverage, where a lot has rubbed off, I would suggest going in with a little bit more of a high coverage concealer. I feel like the Jouer one and the Tarte are similar, but the Jouer one's a little bit more hydrating. So I put that in the areas where I definitely need a little bit more hydration. Okay, so we're going to go to the eyes and we're going to come back to the face. What I'm going to do though first is just apply a little bit of the Hourglass powder right here. Back on my forehead a little bit. And now I'm going to set it because I literally don't want this to budge, so. Okay. So now we're going to go to the eyes, and I just want to keep the eyes like very buried. Like I want to go in with like berry tone. So I'm taking the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries palette, and the first shade I'm going to dip into is going to be the lightest one, which I believe is Berry Chic, which is this one right here. I'm just going to take it on my Anastasia A12 brush, and we're going to look down into the mirror. We're going to hold a mirror in our hand, and we're going to look down into it and just place this in the very crease, the eye socket. Windshield wiper motions back and forth. I'm going to switch over to a Smith 235 brush, and I'm going to grab this second shade, which is Roseberry in the palette. And we're going to start putting this deeper into the crease, not blending it as far up or in. So we're going to blend it just about halfway. What I like about this brush is that it's pointed, but yet you can still pack on color and blend it out at the same time, which I really, really like. And you really don't get much, you really don't get harsh lines, even when you're blending this out with like the pointed tip. So I think I might have worn this shirt before in a video, but honestly I don't care right now. Okay, so now to deepen it up, I'm going to go in with the third shade, Berry Pop. A Smith 247 brush, and just start packing this on the outer V. So I'm actually picking up a little bit of mixed berries as well. I'm pretty much just going down the palette. I may or may not use the black. I might use black on the outer corner. So I'm just using a mix of these two shades and just putting it on the outer corner. I'm bringing whatever product is left on the brush and just kind of sweeping it into the crease, not being too precise with it and not going back in with additional color. I'm going to go back in with that Berry Pop shade and just blend this, like just start diffusing this edge. Like that. That's pretty much like what I'm gonna do for the eye. So I'm gonna go in on the lower lash line now, and I'm gonna actually grab the black shade. So I'm gonna go in with black shade, which is Black Cherry, and a mix of the purple, which is Mixed Berries, and just push this up against the lash line. Even going to take some black on the upper lash line actually. I like when my outer corner on my lower lash line connects with the outer corner on my upper. So I'm just making sure that they connect. And then I'm just going to take a clean blending brush. This was unintentional, but inevitable. I'm going to cut my crease. I'm going to cut my lashes first so they can dry while I'm cutting the crease. I'm using Flutter Intoxicating because that's all that fits me right now. Okay, quickly going to cut the crease just slightly so we can like clean up like this inner corner area, and I'm just addicted to it, so like let's get real. So I'm literally just cutting right here. I do it because I like the way it really brightens the look. Like, I don't want the inner corner too sharp, so I'm just blending it out, and I'm going to buff this out. I'm going to go in with that very first shade and the palette, and just place that where the concealer and the outer corner meet. See, like, don't you just see a difference? Like, I just think this eye looks so much nicer. I needed like a bright bone colored shadow, so I'm actually taking this one from the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. This is in the shade Wealthy, and I'm just gonna pack that on my lid. So if you don't want the cut crease to be super sharp, just go in with like a brush with no product on it and just like kind of diffuse it a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of Wealthy and just blend up towards the brow bone with this so we have no harsh lines. Okay, I'm going to go back to the eyes once the lash glue dries. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of bronzer. This is Marc Jacobs Coconut Omega Bronzer. So I'm going to take this and actually like really contour my nose, because to start I didn't really have much of a strong contour. I just kind of had like a shadow. And now I really want to like do a snatched nose. For blush, I'm going to go in with this Laura Geller Baked Blush in the shade Blush and Brighten. Nope. In the shade Tropic Hues. It's like that same kind of tone that we're going with on the eyes. So I'm going to take that on this brush just because I love this brush. This is a Luxie 522 Tapered. Just right here on the apples. This is definitely like a monochromatic look. I already have the Patrick Ta highlighting mist on my face, but I'm going to go in with a little bit more highlight. This is the Anastasia Glow Kit in Sundipped, and I'm going to take this shade and this shade. A little bit more of this shade though, because it's more like peachy. Okay, I like it. Let me just apply some mascara to the roots of the falsies and my lower lash line. So like just right here. For lips, I think I'm going to go in with this shade from Anastasia, just keeping in the tone with the makeup look. This is Anastasia Liquid Lipstick in Dusty Rose. I've actually never used this shade before. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, Anastasia did just recently add me to their PR list, and they follow me on Instagram. And they've been really amazing for smaller artists, smaller content creators, and I just think it's amazing. And I'm not just saying it because they sent me a huge box of makeup. If you guys don't follow me, you know, you can just check out the picture. I did post a picture on my Instagram, but I just think it's so nice as a smaller creator to get noticed by brands that you look up to, and you're like, oh, I'll never get noticed by Anastasia, but like when in reality, like every brand is watching. And I just think that every brand should just keep in mind that the most creative artists are smaller artists. Like it's crazy to see like what bigger artists, like what bigger YouTubers and makeup artists do compared to like these smaller artists. Like I see so many accounts with 1K, 5K, 10K, and they literally are amazing at what they do and they don't get the credit. And I just think that what Anastasia was doing, what Norvina was doing, they are doing is just incredible. They're bringing like the smaller influencers together, and I just think it's absolutely amazing. Not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I'm just trying out their other products, trying out other colors, and yeah. Very monochromatic. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this like peachy shade right in the middle. This is Dolce. Yeah, that definitely helped. That definitely helped. I kind of like that. I'm just going to pop some highlight in my inner corner. So for my brows, what I want to do is just make the underneath stronger, just because like when I go out recently, I don't really like doing much of a strong brow. I like seeing like a little bit of skin peeking through, kind of more of like a natural brow. So what I'm going to do is just take precisely my brow pencil and just kind of like deepen that area up a little bit. I feel like that made a difference. Okay guys, so like you wouldn't even be able to tell unless like you got really up close and personal to my skin that this makeup was applied initially FF Black. I'm gonna zoom you guys in just so you can see what I'm talking. So I'm gonna look in the mirror too. So obviously like you can tell I'm a little dry here because of like my smile lines, and around my nose cakes up all the time, so I'm not going to be like too harsh about that. My nose looks good, my forehead looks good, maybe a little bit of foundation rubbed off here, but not a big deal. So I think everything turned out really, really nice. I'm really happy with the way that this looks, and that's literally how you can go from expired to freshened up in just like, you know, maybe 20 minutes tops. Definitely took me longer because I'm filming it, but I really like this look too. So we started filming this video at 10:45, so it took me like 45 minutes to do it just because I was talking to you guys and explaining each step. But if I was doing this, I would have definitely been done like 20 minutes ago. So I'm really excited with the way that this look came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something new. I really, really liked this kind of video, so if you guys want something else like this, please, please, please let me know. Oh yeah, that completes this video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and hit that like button so I know you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!